Clouds TV, empowering lives.
Apostle, I have like two more questions.
Yes.
Now, the first question is, over the weekend, we saw information doing rounds on social media that the opposition team led by Rigathi Gachagua they were already deliberating on who should be the running mate, or rather who should be the flag bearer. And a few names were suggested. There was Kalonzo Musyoka being his running mate being Matiang'i, and they were talking about that too much on social media. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, it is democratically right for them to have such kind of a thinking, because they belong to that class of tribal groupings. But now, the bigger group that will vote are the Gen Zs who are not tribal. So when they are planning for anything, I wish they remove the tribal tag. That you see Matiang'i, when he wants to launch anything, he went to Kisii to launch his campaign. When Wamunyoro is moving, he was moving around the Kikuyu areas. Now that he's gone to Western Kenya a bit, he went to Kambana a bit, he went to Mombasa a bit, but you could see his foundation was founded from, which is right. Which
the
is
central part.
Central part, which is democratically right, very right for him. But if they can be able to read the mood with the young people, and maybe that is why George Ruto came with that mood. He's telling his father, read the mood. He's telling Wamunyoro, read the mood.
Read the mood.
He could be a voice to the nation. He could be a voice to the nation, speaking on how we need to understand and read the mood. Because the mood on the ground, yes, as much as we are hearing from listening to the ground is not tribal at all. So bringing people from understanding that we bring this tribe, we bring this tribe, it will work against them. These same people who are praising them, they might even go back to Ruto because there will be no change.
Yeah.
They will be doing the same thing Ruto is doing. They will be doing, so they would rather stay with Ruto instead of bringing any other person who is similar to Ruto. So saying that we are bringing Gachagua because he will come with the Central, we are bringing Matiang'i because he's coming with the Kisii, and Kalonzo because he's coming with the campus, does not build a nation. But if they can build a nation by propagating what we call
a unified
and nationalistic agenda, it will work. But for them suggesting who is supposed to be the president, who is supposed to be the prime minister, who is supposed to be the deputy president, constitutionally they are allowed to do so. But the mood is not in the constitution. The mood is on the ground. So it will be so important for us to watch on that and see. For them suggesting Kalonzo, it is okay, it's good. But ask Kalonzo, he has been vying for this political seat. What makes him not succeed? Could there be altars that belong to their community that is hindering him? Because this life is spiritual. This man is good. This man is humble. This is a man that everybody would want to be a president. But what happens at the end of the day? Something just crops in and he is shortchanged. Kalonzo, they walk with Raila, and then Raila comes and says, no, I didn't say that. Could there be altars, the Ukambani altars hindering him? Look here, let me give you a very small example. Who brought Kalonzo to politics?
Was it Mulu Mutisia?
Mulu Mutisia.
Yeah.
Mulu Mutisia was the king of Ukambani.
Yeah.
He was the level he went up to was being the king of Ukamba. The king of Ukamba, he became the chairman of KANU in the area. Mulu Mutisia was the powerhouse in Ukambani. He was a blind man but controlling. This is a man that brought Kalonzo Musyoka into the limelight. This is a son of Kalonzo Musyoka politically. And if your father did not go beyond the village you come from, it is because of the altars and foundations that are speaking in him, it will be so difficult for you to rise. Not unless you uvunje madhabahu ya baba yako. Just as Gideon did, he destroyed the altar of his father, and from there he was able to rise up. Sometimes you have to destroy the altars of our fathers, the people who brought us in politics. Kalonzo need to go and interrogate himself and see whether Mulumutisia is the impediment for him to become the president of the country. Because when it comes the Wiper party, akienda Ukambani he becomes a hero, but akitoka nje anaisha. Akienda Ukambani na Wiper party nakuta iko na members of parliament, lakini akitoka nje something does not work. He need to address the issue of Mulumutisia. Yes. So
at the end of the day, if Kalonzo gets the opportunity to vie for the presidency, what are the chances of him winning? As long as he does not address the challenges of Mulumutisia as an altar, he will not get it, even if he is backed by Ruto himself. He will not make it. Yes. Keep that, take that to the bank. Until he addresses the mizimu ya Ukambani ambayo Mulumutisia alimweka ndani yake. Hawezi, he will not make it. Kalonzo, but you insist Kalonzo has all the qualities of a He has every quality. This is Kalonzo has the Jacob Esau factor. When Jacob decided to buy the birthright of Esau, when he went to work in Laban's house, when he was working as Jacob. But when it came the time for him to eat, the Esau spirit stood up. A spirit of a particular thing can rise up and stop you from becoming. That is why there are so many people who are very powerful, very strong, but they have not. Look at Raila now. Look at Raila. I told you that, and then tulitukano sana hapa. Tukaambiwa tulikuwa tumesema Raila want to make it kule EU. He didn't make. Tulikutukana mara ya kwanza. After that walikuja wakasema nimeongea ukweli. Raila has always won elections. For you to say, when during the Kibaki time Raila won, but he lost it. In the time of kwa groundwork ana win, ikifika kutangazwa inatangaza mtu mwingine. Akakuja upande wa Uhuru, he won, but it was taken away from him. Yes. You want to say Ruto didn't win fairly? At a year, Ruto never won. Ruto didn't win the election. This election you are talking about, Ruto didn't win. He said Raila was ahead. He said the church prayed him to victory. Yes, with his altars. He used altars. When you use altar, your altar, and the altar is very powerful. And that is what I'm telling you. I'm speaking about the power of the altars in a family. If there is this power of altar in your family that hinders you from becoming, you will not become. So Raila won, but Raila lost it because of the altar that speaks against him. Hapana. Yes. So okay, bunulize. Alienda AU because of being backed by Kenyan government akalose. Kama angeenda bila Kenyan government angewin. Because there is an altar belonging to Kenya that does not allow him to become. So now Kalonzo, let's talk about Kalonzo. Kalonzo is a child wa Mulumutisia until he addresses the Mulumutisia factor in him, and then he loosens the territorial altars that speaks against him. He will never become a president. So where should he start now? Going back to Ukambani and address how the Mulumutisia factor, the altars. That man was a witch. The altars of Mulumutisia. Mulumutisia is just an innocent village. Yes, innocent, but he was a king of the Ukambani. He anointed Kalonzo, and the Kalonzo, Muthama alijaribu overthrow Kalonzo from the Ukambani politics. What happened to Muthama? Muthama is somewhere there selling his rubies and the things and the politics. Even he was the chairman of UDA, but do you ever hear him? When you dare Kalonzo in Ukambani territory, you are finished. But when he comes out of Ukambani politics, the borders of Ukambani, Kalonzo finished. Why? So aanze kwanza Ukambani, aende aite wazee wa Ukambani.
they address na aite religious people
wamwombe
wavunje madhabahu, aite wakuhani wakuhani, si just ordinary pastors, fake pastors, aite
wale serious
high priests, a high priest in the book of Hebrews chapter number 5. Can I read it for you?
Read.
Because I know he will listen. He's listening to this. I really want to help him. Uliona nani alienda kwa kanisa ingine hapa akavaa manguo za red. What happened to him? Raiga? Look here, Hebrews chapter number 5. For every high priest chosen from among men is appointed to act on behalf of men in relation to God, to offer gifts and sacrifices for sins. He can deal gently with ignorant and wayward, since he himself is beset with weaknesses. Because of this, he is obliged to offer sacrifice for his own sins, just as he does for those of the people. And no one takes this honor for himself, but only when called by God, just as Aaron was. A high priest is not a pastor. It's not your local pastor. It's not your local bishop. A high priest is somebody carefully selected by God for the purposes of offering sacrifices for the community or for the people. On behalf of God. Yes. For people. So he goes atafute real high priests. Awache kumangamanga kutangatanga huko na huko. Atafute real high priests. Aende kwao wavunje madhabahu. Wavunje madhabahu ya murumutisia, wavunje madhabahu ya ukambani, ya uchawi na urogi na vile vitu zote. Kisha wavunje naona hii Mua Hills. There is a goddess in that mountain. Look at Machakos. If I remember that. If you look at Machakos, Machakos was the capital city of Nairobi.
It was supposed to be the capital city of Nairobi.
Yes. Machakos was supposed to be the capital city of Nairobi. Who shortchanged it from Machakos to Nairobi? What happened? When this Mutua became with an ambitious plan to make Machakos become a great again, what happened to him? The idea just... Who shortchanged the Kansas city from becoming a Silicon Valley project? What happened? Until today we are talking of Kansas City, which is not picking up. Who was behind to shortchange? It is because it is lying on the land of the Ukambani. Machakos was supposed to become the city of Nairobi. It is not Nairobi that's supposed to become the city. It is Machakos. But who changed it? So if he looks at the shortchangings and the things that happen within Ukambani area, he will know where he is going and where he is best to. That there is no Ukambani person that will rise to the national level. You can be known everywhere, but when it comes to the real power, you are removed. The highest rank the Ukambani people has ever had, it is the CD.
The CDF, that is
CDF.
The former CDF during
General Kianga. Molinge. Those people.
But Kalonzo has also been the vice president before.
A vice president?
Yeah, that's also a higher rank.
That's a flower girl?
No.
That's a flower girl?
So unasema Kalonzo being a vice president is not a higher rank.
That was not his tech. Kalonzo was not meant to become just by... No, then the vice president is different from the deputy president. The deputy president has truth. Even if they are elected together with the president on the same ticket, the vice president was just handpicked. He lived at the mercy
of the
president. But to remove Gachagua, you need to have the entire government and the entire country behind you. Or the entire sort of corruption, top maneuvers, called whatever, you must have it. That is why I'm telling, being a vice president was nothing. General Kianga was more powerful than the vice president because he was commanding a force. Who was Kalonzo commanding? He was the vice president and the minister for home affairs. Minister ya watu wa jela. And that's the end of you. You utakuwa ukishughulika na mahabusu. Mudiawari was the vice president and the minister for home affairs.
Home affairs. Yeye ndo alileta TV kwa nini kwa akumbuka.
Yeye ndiye kitu kikubwa. But now, go back. Do you know in Machakos, you can never preach, you cannot be able to preach in Mulumutisia ground. No pastor is allowed to preach there because that's the altar of Mulumutisia that rules the Ukambani. That's one factor that makes Ruto never to succeed.
Kalonzo.
Number two, look at the Kahawa Barracks. Kahawa Barracks was supposed to be built where? In Machakos. But who transferred it there? Look at Machakos, was supposed to be a big city, but it was cut into pieces. Machakos is supposed to go to Thika. Then come this way. Ikuja mpaka Konsa nini? Malaa, uko Malaa. Upande Embakasi. Parts of Embakasi. Kule view, inaitangwa
Airport view.
That's Ukambani. That's Machakos. The Jomo Kenyatta International itself is supposed to in the Machakos ground. But who's nani alikatakata? That is what the factors that are hindering Kalonzo to become the president. Until he is able to address those issues, he will never become one. He will always be escorting. Because I remember there is this lady, there's a lady that spoke much on the ship.
Fevangunyi.
Fevangunyi, yeah, Fevangunyi. Ngunyi said, there's one that looks like a sheep.
Lives among the sheep.
Lives among the sheep. And there's the one that does not look like he lives among the sheep. If you go with this one that does not that looks like lives like a sheep, you will face tribulation for the next 5 years. And this is Ruto. The man that the hand of God was on was Kalonzo Musyoka. And this is how I normally tell people, the hand of God can be on you, but the altars will speak against you. Yes. You need to address this altar that can hinder you from becoming. You can be a good pastor, but there are altars that speak against you in your family. We have preachers in Nairobi who are very wealthy, but they are not able to build a church for God. They are still preaching in the Mabati churches. And this is what Ruto was using as a challenge. They are wealthy who are driving 18 million car. Ako na gari kama ine za 30 million. Ziko hivi 18 million, nakuta ako na gari kama 10, that is 54 million, 60 million car. Ziko kwa parking yake, lakini ana preach kwa kanisa ya Mabati. Why? It is not him that does not want. Ikifika ni luxury, you get it. But ikifika to address the issue of God, unasimamishwa. Are you getting me? So there are factors that hinder this man. When he is led by somebody, he flourishes. When he is led by Raila, Kalonzo becomes a superhero to the entire nation, and he's liked by everybody. But now when it gets to him to eat his cake, the cake inanyanganywa because there is an altar that speaks in his life. They will crop something at sasa. Saizi everybody in his favor. Right now as you are talking, everybody wanasema Kalonzo. But something will just crop and it will go. Because of that Mulumutisia garden and because of the Ukambani. I wish I can remember this woman. Mekateleli wa Mensa.
Mekateleli wa Mensa. Huyo sio nini? Huyo sio Mkiria.
Hiyo group ya Mekateleli wa Mensa. There is this other woman.
Taniangalia.
Kwenye milima ya Mua. Wanasema huyo mwanamke her spirit iko kwa hiyo Mua Hills. Na ana control the politics of Kambani sana. So not unless we have...
Kuna huyu anaitwa sio tune wakathuke. Sijui kama
sio huyo. Na mwingine?
Najaribu kuangalia hapa.
Just be looking at them. And this is what has really costed the Kalonzo factor to become the president, despite that God is on his side. Maybe Google more hills. Despite of God being on his side, God can be on your side, but the altars speaks against you. There are people who are supposed to be rich. There are people who are supposed to be big in the society, but the territorial altars speaks against them. Territorial altars, names, and even blood altars speaks against them.
Before tufuatilie mambo ya Mua Hills, we're still on the Kalonzo factor. So eventually, right now everybody is talking about Kalonzo being the perfect match.
Yes.
So if you think...
And he cuts a national figure. He cuts the image of a national leader. Unlike Wamunyoro.
What's the difference between Kalonzo and Wamunyoro?
Wamunyoro is more centralized in Mount Kenya. More centralized. He has identified himself like a Mulima. He went to Seattle, he called the Seattle people Kikuyus only. And they had Ngemi
Festival, I think.
Yes. You see, he's trying to come out of it, but there's something that is pulling him into it. And this is a machinery. The machinery in the government is really trying to make him look a tribal. And even also the people with him. Because if Matiang'i is with him, Uhuru is there. Are you getting me? If Matiang'i is with the team, Uhuru is there. If Raila will come and then say whoever Tosha, Uhuru is there. So I don't see Uhuru wanting Wamunyoro to cut the image of to cut a national image. They would prefer to work with Kalonzo rather than working with Wamunyoro. Wamunyoro is somebody that you cannot be able to predict. It is good to remove somebody like Ruto, but it is not good to become.
So
not according to me, according to Kina Uhuru, according to the people, the status quo. Kalonzo, even Ruto, we prefer to lose to Kalonzo, not to lose to Wamunyoro.
Why Wamunyoro?
He will sleep in jail the second after his soon. The next minute, he will be arrest this man. There are people, systems of the government will work against them. You see, Matiba was popular than Kibaki.
Yeah.
But the Kenyatta government, the Kenyatta family organized for Kibaki to be sacked from a minister of health. And then they gave him money and a political party and an office. They gave him DP. DP was from the Kenyatta family, gave him Muigai and Kongo Muigai. They're the one that had the party. Kibaki had gone to Mombasa to just have his white cap and forget about the whole story. But they went to visited him and told him, now because you've been sacked, we need you to get into politics because you're the one who said. Remember when they went for Matiba, for Kibaki, Matiba was already shining. But they didn't go. They didn't want to support Matiba, who was already shining. They went for Kibaki. And they picked up Kibaki, gave him money, 40 million, and gave him a political party, DP. And gave him an office at the Bruce House. And then the party became so strong, so powerful. Then networks were done very fast and the Kibaki became a powerhouse. Only for him to come and divide the Kikuyu votes. Moi came power again. That was the agenda of the Kenyatta family. Because they feared Matiba. Matiba was a radical. Matiba was to bring radical changes in this country. So there are status quo people that will sit with the enemy of the country for the sake of them to have access to power or the control of the power.
So eventually you see if Wamunyoro, if he gets an opportunity to
he gets an opportunity, Ruto will prefer losing to Kalonzo. He will support Kalonzo indirectly.
rather than Wamunyoro.
But again, Ruto, Kalonzo will lose it again because he will not have addressed the issues.
Bethel Clouds TV, empowering lives.